Go and check.
Let's talk about writing equations for the described line. You know, if this isn't recording, there's a whole playlist in YouTube about writing equations for a line, so you're more than welcome to check that out. Under Mathman 1024's web channel, which would have already found if you're watching this video, or if you're not, because if it's not recording, you look for the playlist that says equations of lines. You're going to see the exact same thing, just with different problems. So I guess it's not exactly the same thing. We're going to be writing equations for lines with given information. So if I tell you that the slope of a line is negative 17 and the y-intercept is 0, 35, could you write the equation of a line?
Yep.
Right, we're just going backwards here. I'm giving you the slope and the y-intercept, and where does that slope and y-intercept come from normally when we're trying to identify it?
Y equals mx plus b.
Fantastic. Y equals mx plus b. So what have I given you here?
The slope and the y-intercept.
I gave you the slope, and I gave you that y-intercept piece, didn't I? So what is your equation going to be?
Y equals 12x plus 35.
Where did the 12 come from?
I mean, negative 17, but that was a 12.
Y equals negative 17x plus 35. Do y'all agree? Now, this is what the answer would look like in slope intercept form. Do y'all agree? Now, what if you put it in standard form? Now, standard form, if you recall, is having both variable terms on the left side and the constant on the right side. How can I do that?
Move the x up.
Just move this to the other side, so it would be a positive 17x. The positive y is already over here, equals 35. So this is what it would look like in standard form.
And that's because you're adding 17?
Mm-hmm. Plus 17x plus 17x. Yeah. And just to let you guys know, either one of these guys is totally fine. But there are some things you need to know about standard form. This is usually determined by a textbook or a particular author. For standard form, you want to have, of course, x's and y's on the same side, constant on the other side. They prefer to have all of these coefficients to be integers, so no decimals and no fractions. And they typically prefer the lead coefficient here to be positive. So for what we have here, that's totally okay. You guys with me on that? But on a test or a quiz, I'm just going to say this. Write it in slope-intercept form, or write your answer in standard form. Because either way is perfectly fine. What if I ask you this? If I say the slope is 2.58 and the y-intercept is 0, negative 10. Again, we want to work with the slope-intercept form, so y equals mx plus b.
Y equals 2.58x plus negative,
Right, y equals 2.58x
minus 10.
minus 10. Is that cool? All right. This will be some of the easiest stuff that we can do. I mean, this should be like a layup for you on a test. Are there questions about that?
People just like
People do miss layups.
Like the